welcome to the show, Jordanny. Now, what's your sober date, bud?
My sober day is October 22, 2021,
Okay,
22.
so you still got 2 years.
No, I just have a 1 year. It's coming a year sober.
Oh, I see. Yeah, it'll be 2 years in next month.
1 year next month.
1 year next month. Oh, okay. So 2022.
2022.
So what was the date again? October what?
October 22.
Okay, so what was going on October 21?
No, I just getting confused for like.
So what was happening before you got sober that you decided to get sober?
Um, well, we're talking about my addictions, right? So I'm be struggling in the past for like the whole addictions, traumas, bullying, and of course addictions, alcohol and drugs and bulls. Um, and my life around to get advantage for my family, and also in the place where I growing up, right? Is be like a beautiful place, nice environment, but also a toxic in the same time. When I grew up like a surfer, I grew up like a fisherman too. I could just grow up in the water, so it's a really tourist place,
Yeah,
you know.
because for those who don't know you, you're in Costa Rica, right?
Right, this is where I'm from. I'm from Costa Rica, Nosara. Um, so it's a beautiful place. We have a lot of the clients and the fishing and surfing instructors and competitive. So
And you
uh,
said your dad was a fisherman.
yes, I'm a fisherman too.
Oh, are you? So
So
did you
yeah,
grow up with both parents?
no, I just grew up just only with my mother. Since I have a memories, my mother is the only one to she raised like four kids, myself and two more, three more actually, two more brothers and one sister.
Are you the oldest, the youngest, and between?
No, I am between.
Okay. Are any other addicts in the family, or just you?
My all my family. My mother is in recovery. She's already have 8 years. And my younger brother, he is 1 year sober. And I am the other person to continue it in this recovery path. So I go for 11 months right now. I go almost a year. And my older brother is still in active addiction.
Well, congrats on 11 months, though. That's a huge milestone. Now, did you discover drugs or alcohol first?
I just cover alcohol first.
How old were you?
I just have 12 years when
Okay.
I started consuming.
So, 12 years old, why'd you start drinking?
Um, I just discover, when the younger age, um, my life is covered or around by light. So, I just was a lot. I call a father to somebody who was not my father. And then I grew up in the environment where it's a really machismo. So, and the way to say that is like mothers, sons, daughters, they can express their feelings and they can no say nothing when you see something wrong. So what happened is you need to live, you know, with that light and start creating more to survivor. So in the way to start learning surfing, I'm be discovering, my environment, my cousins, my friends. It's beautiful environment to surf in. Smoking weed and all I have a few beers. So I used to start getting, try testing the beers. Of course, in that moment, everything is, fun is normal in the type of environment, right? But since getting more every time more, uh, older, like 14 years old, I start getting more, I liking these things. So I start like testing something else, like marijuana. And we have a 15 years old. I find my own sister, she was dead in her bed. So what happens there? They have a like sub death. This is like a lower pressure. Um,
Can I ask how she passed?
yes. I just remember, like like normal day, she's going in bed, like normal. Everybody's going the same times. And that day in the morning, I was the first person to wake up. So I just go and waken her because she was the person to always wake up with me when I need to go to the high school, or, like she's the one to give me the support. And that day I find her dead in her bed. So for me, that is when everything changed,
Was it an
because
overdose or was it something like something that went wrong?
um, there was something wrong. She's like a high or low pressure, right? So you have pressure, you have like a heart attack, but we are low pressure. You throw up and vomit, and it's hard to breathe. So that's what happens to her, right?
Oh, that's a shame. I'm
Yeah.
sorry to hear that. And
Now,
that's a really traumatic thing to go through to find your sister that way at only 15 years old.
yes, and there was really dramatic. There was like big impact. There was a big trauma, and that is when all the family uh, destroyed. All the, it's still we was like only a mother, three brothers, and a daughter. But then with the daughter was disappeared, so everything is getting disintegrated. Um, my mother started getting in alcoholic depression, and I used to have a stepfathers at that times, and we start getting like a physical abuse. So when I say physical abuse, it's like bruises, black eyes, and all that kind of things happens, around my mother. And I was the only son to still with her, try to support my mother, because my older brothers he left to my father's side, and the younger ones is different father, so he's got to his father's side. So I was the one to stay with my mother. So for some reason I was still consuming with everything, all the behaviors around me, and I don't know what to do with only 15 years old. And so months later, my mother is getting like fist a lot, bleeding a lot, black eyes and everything, and I found that like he's the one to beat up my mother. So we getting in like a legal issues because I was in the high school. So the high school coming to support me because I underage. And when happens is everybody show up there. My mother said there was a lie for me. So that thing broke more my heart. I feel like my mother supports somebody else, and his son, right? So the soon that everybody left, she told me this is not your house anymore. So I start like living the all the traumas in the hard way. I don't have a father, I don't have a mother, I don't have a brothers around me, I don't have a people to support me. So I need to go to the street. And there was a years to when the surfing, there was help me and like a physio. I take the surfing like a physiotherapy. Why? Because for me being the ocean, for me being the water, it's made me like calm down, made me like destroy my mind, it made me like live and be what I'm present for. Um, there was some time in there when I was consuming more because I want to run away from that reality. I was thinking like nobody wanna be around me. I was feeling like I'm empty. I don't have a I don't have a soul around nobody, right? I know trust. I don't believe in me. I just covered by fear, and I will start living in lies. So only what I see is safety. There was get drunk or smoke the more weed you can, so you can pass out, so you can go to bed. So for me, that behavior is going growing and growing more. So now, you know, after surfing, before surfing, I need to have a cool beer, or I need to have a joint. So every time, like facilitate my day. And and also that is when I started like just find a job in different ways. I was, because I'm fisherman, I go take care of some boat, like a security in nighttime. But there was no real job for me if it's not, go after fishing or just not, of course, it's drinking.
Now,
So
did you end up forming a relationship with your father, or you just knew he was a fisherman?
um I'm be fishermen because where I grew up right in front of the beach. That is like a small town. It's called Playa Garza. That's like a small bait. So all my uncles, cousins, friends who I grew up, they are fishermen. They have a boat. So I'm learning from them. And
Okay.
yeah, my father, he left me when I was 2 years old. He still disappeared. So I don't have any relationship with him.
Did your mom ever tell you why he left?
Um, that is something like she's never told me, and that is the other part to I say I'm living a lot of light or like things in, people don't share because maybe they don't have the way to share. I don't have the way to call it for our names,
Yeah.
like the type of disease or the type of trauma that maybe she used to have it.
Now, did you ever discover drugs, or was it purely alcohol?
I discovered drugs. Yeah, I was using a lot in the past. We have a 20 years because my abusing to alcohol that was heavy. Always I pass out, so I want to continue to use more alcohol, and I don't know how to do it. So I started discovering from friend of mine cocaine. So when I started tasting the cocaine, I realized, like, oh, what is this? Like I still wake with after some drinks. I don't feel like hangover again, so I want to continue more. Um, I start working in the restaurants. I start doing like be a waiter. So in that way, I start making some more money, and then I'm learning. Okay, so I can sell this because um, it's here find some drugs is so easy, especially cocaine, right? And like a tourist area, so you can sell the double to the tourists. So that way I make money and I can consume more. And
Well, how old are you now, bud?
I'm 34 years old.
Okay.
Yeah,
And you were 20 years old selling cocaine on the beach, basically.
yeah, selling cocaine, the beach. So from the 20 to the 30s, there was the most higher time for using cocaine. Every time incrementing more, right? So pass for 1 gram to 5 grams and more every single time. Because I need to be awake for the parties. I need to be
Yep.
like ready for surf the next day or whatever.
Because you were
And
still you still were surfing and getting high.
yeah, uh, I mean, I can't believe it how I get that. But part two, there was no balance in my, you know, I grew up like a survivor mode, and the way to I can express my feeling, I can share nothing what has gone on with myself. So I need to find a way to moving forward. And when I say forward, is the way to find a job, the way to I show up, and the way to like maintaining my routine. So was the surfing parties. So mostly that was everything around because I started losing jobs, because too much alcohol or drugs. Sometimes I'm not show up. Sometimes hangover. Sometimes like call and say something happens to me. So it's getting covered by lights again because that was is the way to I grow up. For me that was normal. Um, I have a daughter. So when I have a 21 years old, I met a girl and then it was a surprise. In this type of relationship, she was young and she's get pregnant, and there was something to change a lot my life, but I'm still toxic. um I need to be father, and I try to be responsible. I try to not do what my father do to me. I try to be more present for my daughter, but I don't have idea how I stop, my drinking. I make my drink lower, more, low in the parties too, but I'm be causing, a lot of problems in my house or where we live in with my girlfriend that time, or my daughter's baby.
Now, did your girlfriend know that you were an alcoholic or a drug addict?
She maybe know I have a problem, so maybe she know I was drinking a lot. But when you're in the teenage, you think that thing is normal. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's go for a party. He was working and then stay for a party. So, but the behavior start growing every time more. Like, I'm not get a physical abuse. I'm not a person, but I getting in the problem to, after I say I will go drink, I'm not show up to the next day. Fucked up and everything, like really drunk or whatever drugs I'll be using. Um, I was causing a lot, traumas to her too, because I was passing, the toxic to her, and we broke the relationship when my daughter have a 5 years old, and I was thinking, I realized that was my problem, and I can stop.
Because
I realized,
she wasn't like an alcohol. What, she didn't drink that much, or
no,
she?
she's never drank. She's barely have a maybe one, and that's too much for her. For me, yeah. So she's not have a, that type of problem.
So you were 23 then?
Um, no, I have in that time when I broke the relationship, I have a 26. I go for 27.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, there was a 5 years.
Now, when you guys broke up, did your drinking get worse?
I just Yeah, I was thinking two things. One, now I'm free, so I can do whatever I want. And then when I was tipsy or drunk, I'm suffering because I want to be with my daughter. I want to be with her, you know. And I know there was my disease, there was my problem. And that we getting in that toxic way too. I just want to show up when I was drunk. I say and make it, I want to be different, or like you show up where every time I want it, so she can put boundaries to me. And when she's put the boundaries, I feel like, yeah, now I'm lost my daughter, so I want to drink more. She's put me rules so I can go closer to my daughter, and I want to be drinking. Two cents, like, like getting worse and worse.
Now, what kind of drinker were you? Mostly beer, or was it hard liquor too?
It's everything.
Anything that
Uh,
had alcohol in
every
it, you were
have
gonna.
alcohol, so you have a like vodka, you have a rum, you have a whiskey, you have a beers. I will, I would drink.
Now, when you find the program, did you go to rehab? I'm not sure how it is down in Costa Rica. Did you go to a rehab? Because having to get rid of it. Did you go through withdrawals for alcohol?
Um, I have a wife now. I met this girl just right after um couple, maybe a year and a half after I broke with my girlfriend, and I just start like I make a little stop in life to, I was not drinking the same amount. I said, well, I know this is causing these things, this damage to my daughter, this damage to me, and I try to just go like a normal person, like normal drinker. I say that, okay, I want to drink just only the weekends, and I start like getting my daughter back to me because my ex have a different relationship with a different person. So now my daughter, like her grandmother called me and said, like, Jordanny, you're the father, you can be responsible for her. So I try to be more, enthusiasm with to be more learning how be father this time. And then I met my wife, so she's American, and I think so. In the beginning, I said I'm normal. I would drink only the weekends, or I would drink only when party's going out, or something like that. She was the first person to feel feel the impact of my addiction. I mean, the first person to tell me, this is impact, this is addiction. You needed looking for help. So I would say, like I was feeling I know I have a problem, but I don't call it in that way. I would just say like I know I pass drink too much. I know I do something wrong. I don't call it addiction in that moment. So she's helped me to connect and with people to have a facility. And I show up to the facility for like a month. In that
How
time,
how how was that month? Because like everyone has different experiences in rehab. How was that month for you? Was it eye opening?
there was talking about big book. There was talking about steps. There was talking about Alcoholic Anonymous. There was talking, but in my head I don't get it. The first month, or there was only 1 month in that facility, I was feeling good again, because what we feeling or what I'm be learning in this type of environment is if you look physical good, you know, you're okay,
Yep.
right? So
The lies we tell ourselves.
right. So I was like I was looking good physical. I do a lot of workout, like exercise and helping because people say you are a good person. So I like to help. I grew up here like working hard for teens. So, and I was helping. But then in the month happens, I back to my town and I relapse because I never work. I never do the steps. I never be working. Um, so friend of mine and her again, they send it to me or they're looking for me for different facility because they say you're done and you stay here for 1 month. Maybe it's better if you stay there for like 2 months or 3 months. So I go the same. I go to different facility. I'm not paid for nothing. So, I get there for like a vacation, I call it, because I'm not doing nothing. They feed me
Yeah.
for free. I have a nice bed. I know I have a problem, but I don't know how to say what is my disease, what is my traumas, what is my fears come from, what is my anger, or where my anger is coming from, and all that things is the one to drag me all the way to the bottom. Um, they be passing one other rehab or the facility place, and that is when last year I was drinking like every single day, any hour, to sense like my daughter, feeling like scared to see me. She was like, "You looks like a monster. I'm a real father. You show up to pick me up in school drunk. You are like you never come up, or you say you want to show up and I never show up to go see her or visit her. Either my wife have to put me a boundaries and she told me like, this relation is over."
This podcast is also sponsored by BetterHelp. If you are looking for therapy and not able to get something right away locally, you can do that with them. Within 48 hours, you can find a therapist to get on telehealth with you. I mean, I haven't heard anything but great things from people that have already done it, that watch my show or listen to my show. If you're looking to get 10% off your first month, you can go to betterhelp.com/MJsPNPMCA. That is betterhelp.com/MJsPNPMCA.
And when she told me this relation is over, I dragged her and she was suffering too much. She was suffering not only in the way to economic, as physical, psychological, and spirituality. So I'm be feeling like, again, I get abandoned for people. Nobody want me around. Jordanny, you are sucks, and all the negative talks back to me. To when I say for 2 months, I say, you know what? If it's nobody wanna be with me, I use the only way I wanna is go high and dead. I don't have the way to. I want to kill myself or something like that. I either when I have this type of tongues, I have this type of my mentality. I just want to get high and dead. You know, so
I heard someone say before they didn't want to die, but they didn't want to be conscious anymore.
correct. And I love the expression because that's exactly what it is. You are like, you don't want to feel this life. You don't want to feeling like you don't know the way to confront, and all you feeling is like people do things to you and you get hurt. you know because that's is the inconscious. That is what your reaction you create, and that is the addiction life to the other side. um I have a 2 months since I broken with her, and then I get drinking every single day. I go party to different friends. I start meeting all the new people in town. So I say, you know what, these people, my wife don't want me, my daughter don't want me. These people really want me, but I never think I once wanted the person to try to fit in different circles or different type of wars, right?
Yeah.
And I have a really bad accident. I was driving my motorcycle after two big discos plays, and I go for after party with bags of drugs, cocaine, and beers in my hands and everything because we go for after party. And I lost the control in my motorcycle. I don't have a helmet. I don't have nothing to protect my body, and I flip. I gain conscience to I don't remember nothing by my accident. This only I used to remember, my brothers come and pick me up. My younger brothers come pick me up, and drunk, I show up to my wife's house, like really beat up for my accident. So next morning, I don't feel my knee. I just feeling only pain in my knee. Uh, that is when I start like feeling the physical pain again back to my body because I can have a beer to run away from my pain, my physical pain. So I show up to the hospital, and they told me, you have a problem with my knee, but they can tell me what was and one. So I was, I was back. It's only with band-aid in my knee, and I will start like say, okay, have a drink for 2 days, and I will start feeling like the loneliness to where I was, the deep at the bottom when I was. I don't have a friend to call me, text me. In that moment, I don't have either my mother. I was causing a lot of confrontation between my mother and mine. So it's like was telling, she was not my mother because she got abandoned me. My brothers, I was getting a lot of fight with my brothers. So my wife didn't want me see me. My daughter didn't want me see me. And so very good. That was rainy season here, so we call it low season. So there was no job. There was raining every single day. I can go fishing, I can go surfing because everything what I depend a lot is by my physical, right? I can go surfing because my
Yeah.
knee is bad. Um, I just get a phone number from a friend in recovery. He have a facility, and I just remember I picked the phone, and that is when everything started. My recovery started. I used tell I used call him, and I just ask him like, "Hey, I need help." He's like, "I was listening to you," and I said, "Well, I need to disappear from this town. I need to get out of here. I don't have money. I don't have nothing. I can give him my boat. I start making deals, like I want to just run away from this reality. But I need to change. And he said, no problem. I come and pick you up tomorrow. So you think you can be ready? I said, man, I'm ready right now. If you come right now, I need it. I need to do it. He show up the next day. He's gonna pick me up. He's take me out of my town. We go different towns where this facility is. And I show up there. I used to be in the same facility like years ago, but I was thinking, I just said to the people, I don't have a problems. I'm fine. I'm normal. I just only have a relapse. And I mean, and then when I show up like this time, I don't have the energy to look people in the face. I don't have my soul anymore. I just feeling like I show up there. I don't have the values,
You were broke. You
Yeah,
were
I was totally broke inside and outside. And I show up to the place. They help me first go check my knee. He said, no, we need to check your knee. Let's go. And I will take you there. So they help me to go to the facility to check my knee. I have LCL broke, like a cross ligament in my knee. So I
you're
said, okay,
still you're still able to surf though. I see that surfboard behind you.
this is the amazing of recovery. Uh, yes, I'm back to surf, but
And back with your wife because you call her your wife, so not a past girlfriend. So she took you back. How many months sober did you have before she took you back?
I mean, I'm still working in that. It's a lot of trust to continue to build. It's a lot of how do you call it? It's a lot to continue to work between things I do when I was in the active addictions. I was her, and also my daughter. So I just start to use working and do these things for me, you know. And that's the first time I will do something. This is the first time I'm be sober for more like a week. It's 11 months. All my life be changing since like I mean we are friends. We care, and she's the one to help me now with my daughter. She was the person to help me to take care of my daughter. So for me, she's a mother. She's like my daughter's mother. She was the person to support me when I was need go to the facility, take care of my daughter, give your values to my daughter, things like she be lost because my addiction and the other relationship with her mother is not the greatest. So she was the one to give it all home to my daughter. So we still friends, we still like talking about our marriage and a lot of the things, but of course it's a lot of things to continue working through. Um, this is the beginner, my recovery. This only 11 months.
Well,
Uh,
don't say only 11 months. That's a long time for somebody that for 10 years is used to partying, drinking, smoking, snorting. You know what I mean? Like, and now, do you enjoy surfing now more than ever now that you've been surfing sober?
um, I was back to a little bit to when was in the center. I just remember I can walk. I need to just cross everywhere I going. So now I was feeling like my life is never gonna be the same, you know. So it's not only my life. My wife left me. My alcohol sending me to a rehab center. I lost friends. It's like now I lost all my move, my physical, my life. Who is surfing around. So I just started working using me, and I said maybe I wanna be surfing again, but I wanna be better person inside of me. I wanna be better father. I wanna be somebody to help other people, help my town because my town is really toxic. And 3 months I passed to this facility, and my life is be changing a lot because I start from zero. to on not only physiotherapy, of his not like mental health, of his not like insecurity, traumas, fears, low autoesteem, bullying, calling names, right? And every single day just go little by little by stronger. Um, I'm
Where
back.
where were you bullied at?
When I was a kid, when I was in the school, you know, I used to like know the bullying come from a lot of cousins, and they make it fun of me because a lot of the things. First, I do come for money. Second, I'm little dark skin, so for surfing, maybe fishing a lot. So they told me, a lot of names, nicknames, or used to make fun of me in front of people, and
And
so
that sticks with you. I was bullied too, and that shit sticks with you for a while, where
well,
you kind of, you numb the pain because I started drinking at 11, and 12 I started drinking to numb the pain of being bullied. So I get it completely. Of you know what I mean, like drinking to numb that. And now you're older and you're able to appreciate. I'm sure you can appreciate surfing now that your knee is back to normal.
yeah, I used to start doing back bicycle, and I used put that goal or that in my mind. I said, Jordanny, you only don't want to go back, recovery from your addiction. You want to go recovery for everything. You need to push yourself, believe in that. Um, Somebody in recovery told me, just put the goal, put the flag in the front of you. Don't see the trail, don't see the road. Just put the flag in the front and keep moving forward.
It's the truth. I'm not sure how big is horse racing big down there at all.
Horse,
Yeah, like
oh yeah,
horse racing. So, I don't know if you ever know this, but horse racers have blinders on.
and
You know,
dots, right?
this this way they can't see what the other ones are doing. They can just focus on what's ahead, and that's the goal. And in recovery, you got to have those same blinders on because your recovery looks different from my recovery, looks different from somebody else, my wife's recovery. Everyone has their different way of recovering, and all that matters is that you are recovering at the end of the day. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So that's you got to have those blinders on when you're in recovery and just focus on what your goal is ahead of time.
yeah. I don't know how, but I start doing that. I used to remember some nights I can't sleep, and when all the negative thoughts come back to my head, I just started coming back to do a little workout for my knee. Wake up and make a gratitude list. So that's my sponsor teach me to do. Also, like pray a lot because I need to find my soul. I need to find me, and that is why right now I feel I have a heart, and the things you share, I'm back to surfing, and of course I value more the surfing or how I'm feeling. Um, the doctor say, you cannot back to the board. You need to wait for 1 year, and I would say, all right, I have already 4 5 months, but I have 7 months because I was 3 months before my surgery and recovery, so I have like 7 months, 8 months. So I say like, I don't know how long wanna take me this, but I need to go touch the water. I need to go at least swimming.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure the beaches are beautiful. I'm sure the water is nice and clear.
it's amazing, man. It's beautiful. That not only the wave for surfing, is not the beauty we have around, like whales, dolphins, beautiful fishing, pins and islands, colorful,
Yeah.
trees, waterfalls. So everything is full in connection. Uh, I back to the water with a big board, and I started get up, like stand up, like as I used to surf. and I was feeling like something wake up in me, you know. So this is something emotional in me because I start crying that moment, you know. I start to say like, just believe, you know, you get recovery now, you back to surfing again. Maybe not the same type of surfing I was doing in that moment or what I'm doing before. I used to compete, you know, and I used to have a lot of gift back from different country, you know, for sending me all the boards and stuff. Um, so I used to say like, okay, I wanna not only wanna take it serious my program, I wanna take it serious my physical recovery too. I started doing a lot, um, back ride, a lot of squat, walking, swimming, and I touched my shortboard. So I used to go swimming, use swimming with my showboard and my daughter, and I catch one of the wave. And my daughter loves surfing too. She's like me. She loves the fishing and surfing. So that day I was part with her and I catch one of this nice wave in my shortboard, and I was feeling like like my body back to me, my feet back to me. Since that 3 months, I'm be surfing, changing boards, change board to I go to my board, my show board, and I'm be back to make some errors. I'm be back to surfing like I used to surf, and I use feeling like this recovery is not like be making me back to surf or recover if from my addiction. They be change the whole shifts in me. They be help me to change the ship in my family. They be help to change the ships around my friends, the community. Um, I'm be working. I'm back to work, to fishing. I'm back to surfing. I'm surf instructor, and I'm back to my a new job or my new work because I need to change everything by recovery. I need to change everything about helping others sobriety, and it's called like Sober Costa Rica. So what I do with Sober Costa Rica, we do a lot of like surf therapy, and when we do into these surf therapies, we working with traumas, we working with fears, we working we use for today. We get in the big book, we get in like 12 steps, and we start talking about recovery before surf. We make the meditations. So being the water ends be helped me a lot. They be take me to the safest spot. They be take me to my childhood. They be connect me with my daughter too. And this spot, man, it's be amazing. I'm be see things to where my life come from, who I am right now. The teens who are in this side, the teens who are in these other ones, like a balance. So I'm be losing friends, a lot of people. I'm be losing people from addiction, from accidents, and also I'm be see other people to really want a recovery. And when I'm back to my town, I just find like a support group in my town. To they open their heart, they open their arms, and they say, Jordanny, welcome. Um, we want to, we are here for you. We are here when you want to talk. We are here, to do like activities with you too, like you feel like all the support. This, I think I found that, in my recovery, and this is something like you told me in the beginner, you cannot do this by yourself. You can do this. We can do this together. And when I remember that, now I understanding, this is how people to have little more days than me, and these people too, they pass for the same things. They want to help me to pass for the past better and find different ways to believe it and help other people. I feeling like when you come from like so much suffering, also you have a lot to give. You have a lot to express and share with other people. and recovery, because what you said from the beginner, we have a different type of recoveries, but end of the day, we are suffering for the same, you know.
Yeah,
He,
I'm the furthest thing from surf recovery.
okay.
No, I have a cousin that surfed growing up. Because I grew up in New Jersey, and so we had the beaches, um, not far away from us at all. So I grew up going to the shore and going to the ocean, but it's nothing like how you grew up in Costa Rica and the beautiful beaches and beautiful water down there. So we have different ways that and different journeys, but at the same time, we're both addicts and alcoholics that can relate to each other and relate to those feelings. And that's what's most important of recovery is finding other people that like you and like that we can relate to so that we know that we're not in this alone.
Yeah, I'm be I'm be connecting with people around the world, and I
Yeah, I love that you're the first one from Costa Rica. I've had a few from the UK. I've had a couple Canadians, but you're the first one from Costa Rica that's been on my show. So congrats. Out of
thank
120 some episodes, you're the first one from Costa Rica.
you for inviting me. I feel happy to be here. I'm be happy to, it's not shame and guilty anymore. You know, what I say, we are here for tell people they're not alone. We are a lot of people, for past for so many things in life, but we can do this together. We can move forward, and we can find a lifestyle. That is what I say now. This is a beautiful lifestyle. It's no it's no way to we can stop living our life better, happiness, recover what we think we was lost in. Maybe we can do more, because right now we know we was there. It's nobody to tell you we was there in the dark zone. We was there in the bottom. We know how the bottom can drag on you. But my goal now is I want to see how far Jordanny can go helping other people. I want to see Jordanny how far they can go together. Put these seeds to different people in my town, um, and be connecting with different people. And thank you again. And be connecting with other in South Carolina, North Carolina, California, New York, um,
I'm
people
and
to
I'm in Pennsylvania, so now you got another state.
beautiful. I love it. And a lot of people in Costa Rica, they wanna like they heard my story, they hear a lot of things by me, but also they want to make a trip around Osara, and they say, Jordanny, I want to connect him with you, let's go surf or let's go fishing
Yep.
together. And then we can give a safer space, other people to, they want to talking about. And for me, talking about recovery is everything. I put my recovery in every day, in every single thing to do since I wake up, since I go to bed. Um, and I'm be happy and proud of what we're doing. But can be more happy, to see more people. We can.
Well, I appreciate you coming on and telling your story, Johnny. And a lot of people will relate to it just like how I relate to you too. So I appreciate you taking the time to sit down with me today, bud.
Thank you so much.
But yeah, keep going your recovery. Once you hit a year, it'll get even better. And it does only get better from here. So you can see how far you can take this, but there's endless possibilities. So you can take this as far as you want to.
We're moving forward, like people like you, what you're doing, and looking for, other people to share, and also open the world, because this is something like people need to know. It's not like only one state or only one country. No, this is global, and that is what we need. People to understand. And if they don't understand, just look other people and competitive, with life. Like, we're suffering for so many things.
Yeah.
We need to decide we want to live in that suffering, or I want to take the options, to be better person, or to find these things, and be happiness. You know, I the way to I find it, I make it so many promise for people. I made so many promises for my daughter, for my wife, for my family, you know, and for my jobs. It's not count. When I make the promise, I make it this the the responsibility to say, Jordanny, I want to do this for you. I want to see Jordanny good. I want to see like, you know, how far we going. And I when I see how far, I don't see the end of this trail. I see like, I'm here today. I'm happy to be here in life. I'm happy to, be in recovery. I'm happy to I'm be here in my wife's house, she can help me to set up everything for me. And that relationship, and also, you know, things is getting better every single day. And that is the promises and the big book are right.
Yep.
So I'm happy again, and like Costa Rica always, if you welcome you guys to coming down here, just contact us, or if you want to know more,
Yep.
you can find us, and I'm happy to do any adventures with you around
All right.
recovery.
I'll take you up on that someday. All
So man, good idea.
right. Have a good day, bud.
Hey, you too, bro. See you.